All right, so we finished the drawing today. We went ahead and put all these random things together and created a composition that was complete. So I'm going to kind of go through this kind of quickly. You can pause this as you go. What we're going to do is we already shaded up all our forms pretty good. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a light source. So I'm going to have the light source coming from the side over here. I'm going to go ahead and darken up the bottom. Because whenever you have an object sitting on a surface, it's going to create a line. So the bottom is going to have a nice dark line on there. So and then I'm going to go ahead and create a shadow. It's going to be coming off the side, kind of going to slant this way. So these two lines are kind of going to be parallel like that. And I'm not going to be too exact with this whole shading. I mean this whole shadow here. I'm just going to shade it in. I'm not going to try to keep the form so proper, or I mean the shape of the shadow so proper. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to kind of come in here and blend this out. And the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is create a shadow for the sphere. So at its lowest point, I'm going to go ahead and add a dark line here, and then I'm going to add a little shading that comes out. And again, my light source is coming from that side, so that's going to be something like that. We're going to get this nice little dark line underneath, and then it'll just kind of fade out and kind of get that little shape there. I'm going to go ahead and fade that and blend that with my finger as well. So as I'm looking at this, kind of looks like I have like different levels. So in a minute I'm going to put an actual surface on this. We'll go ahead and darken out this line, and we'll darken out this line. And for realism, if you have a really dark line like I do on the sides over here, that doesn't need to be so dark, so I'm going to go ahead and lighten that up so it just kind of creates a little more realism. Shouldn't be a dark line there. Maybe even this one can lighten up. I'll go ahead and leave that one alone. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the shadow coming out this way. A little on the front, and then on this side over here. This is going to kind of go off the page on my end over here. And once we got that, we can just soften it up. Just use your finger, tissue, tortillon if you have one. Kind of blend this up. Paper stump. If you've got one, you can use that to blend, or just use your finger like I did. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a surface for these, because if they have shadow, that means that there's some kind of surface. So because they look like they're on different levels, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a line right about here. I don't want my shadow to be off the line, so I'm going to add a horizontal line that's going to come right here. Keep my shadow on it, and then I'm going to add a little step down, and I'm going to add another line back here. I'm going to make sure my shadow stays on there. I'm going to take it past this here. And since I went ahead and made this two different levels there, I'm going to go ahead and add this line going out that way. What I'm going to do first is go ahead and put another line that's going to come above this, but not above that. So we'll say like right here. I should go through here. And then I'm going to match up. If this were still going, where would this go and hit? I'm going to hit that right there. Take that back as well. And then bring back where this would be coming out from, somewhere like here. And once we do that, I'm going to put this on its own little space. So I'm going to go ahead and get a line back here. And I'm just going to kind of bring this over, circle it around, make a shape, something like that. almost like you were making the shape of a like a lake or something like this. It's just going to be a little body of land. So we'll do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring line that comes down here, maybe something like this. This will look like it's up on a cliff, and I'll start to shade these up a little bit. So I'm going to start by shading this here, kind of lightly, add a little bit of shadow underneath this line, so the top looks like it's above this piece. I can go ahead and smudge that a little bit. You can get it on the actual landform as well. Just go around the line and just kind of give a little bit of value to this little piece of land that we're making over here. And then here I'm just going to go ahead and shade coming from the top. Soften that up, and I'm just going to make a couple of little lines that are just going to kind of go vertical, kind of get this looking like a cliff or something up on here. It'll look like that. Since this is the light coming this way, I'm going to go ahead and shade this part up, and I want it to be darker than this, so I'm going to go with a pretty dark value in here and kind of make these lines disappear. So where it looks like this. Again, we're not. I'm not really sure exactly what we're drawing. We're just trying to make all of this come together on the paper. So one of our principles of creating art is unity. So we're just trying to unify all of this. So now we've got a little dark value here. I'm going to go ahead and blend on it, and I'm also going to bring that a little shading. Shadowing to this land right here, to this platform here. So I'm just going to drag this out and give a little color to the land there, or to the space. I'm going to go ahead and rub my finger on the back line as well, and you can actually, I have mine a little bit darker than I would like it, so I'm going to go ahead and then just shade on the line a little bit, kind of give a little bit of value to this here and on this top line as well. The line, and then I want to do something down here. I'm not sure. Let's go. They suggested that we surround this by with water, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a line that's going to come behind this, so I'm going to go straight here, and then I'm going to bring a line of water that's going to follow this here. So this is going to be water. It's going to go behind this landform, and then it's going to be all up in front. So in order for us to create water, we're going to get this line in here, and then all through here I'm just going to make some water, some lines that look like this. Just kind of make a little flowy. And we're going all the way up to. And some of these can be darker than others. And then what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my finger and rub sideways. And I'm going to go in little areas. I'm not going to go all the way across. I'm going to do it kind of like the way that I was blending right now. I mean, laying down that color right now for those lead. I'm just going to blend this lead in here. So we'll have some of these lines in here, but I'm also going to have some gray value. And it's not going to be so just white and empty. So this is going to be my water, or our water. And it only goes up to this line here, so on this line I'm going to be rubbing it this way. And the water's clear and see-through, so I can still see the landform through it. And then once we've got these grays in here, we've got like nice little dark lines, we can go with an eraser and erase a couple of highlights so that it looks like water. And we'll just make the same little type of lines. You can find some areas where you got the little dark highlights. And add little highlights. You got your little dark lines. Just add some, maybe over here, kind of by the water's edge. We can get little highlights in there. Kind of make this look a little more like water. And then next thing we did was all this entire piece right here. We went ahead and darkened it up. Okay, so we're going to go the darkest value we can go, and we're going to fill this whole area up. So darkest value on there, and that's going to take you all the way back here and here around your tent. And before we keep doing that, let's go ahead and add a little shadow on this line over here from the pencil that's floating up. And all I did was add a little bit of a slant, little line in there like that. And just kind of blend that right there. And that was the shadows from my pencil way up in the air. And we'll go ahead and fill this. And it's up to you if you want to go sideways or if you want to go up and down. If you go up and down, it'll kind of help with the whole height of everything. And then the last thing we did was add lines to the background. So when you're done, after you do the water, you can add black right here. And then we just added some lines to our background. I actually gave them a choice. They could do what they wanted. So at the end, it should look like this. And that is the end of the composition. So when you're done drawing in your water, add the black here. You should have a shadow. Add something to your background so it's not so plain. People were doing different things. I added squiggly lines. All right, and that's pretty much that. You're going to upload this to page 10, I believe, or 9. I'm not sure. It might be 9 of your journal.